To answer your question, yes, we are two adult women. And yes, we love Bieber, and that's why we're publicly stalking him.
We're crazy.
Hey! Maybe he's what America needs. One nation under beams. We're gonna be two less lonely girls. We're gonna be two less lonely girls. We love Justin Bieber, and let us be clear, we're not being ironic at all.
Hosted by Corinne Fisher and Rosebud Baker.
Welcome back, everybody, to Two Less Lonely Girls. I'm Rosebud Baker.
I'm Corinne Fisher.
And we are doing a emergency episode. We actually had a different episode scheduled for
This isn't
tomorrow.
an emergency.
Well, it is breaking. You know
it's
what
an
I mean?
emergency for Justin more than us, I would say.
I think we had to, I mean, our last, basically, if you guys have been following, which if you're not, what are you doing?
Yeah, come on.
Get your lives together. Basically, Justin is back on Instagram in a very active way.
Acting out.
Acting out, sharing a lot. You know, you could call it acting out. I don't know that I would call it acting out. I would say he's sharing a lot.
Well, the way he's treating Haley is a little bit acting out. Almost. Fuck, that was my phone.
Oh God. Jesus Christ, I thought you broke a limb.
I don't think it sounds like I don't think it sounds like that.
But a part of my heart jumped out of my chest. I'll
Thank
be
you.
honest. It's for your phone.
Because I was gonna say that's nice to know that if I broke a limb that you would care that much.
Yeah, no, that too. But it's the same.
Side note: happy birthday to Rosebud. It was her birthday yesterday.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I truly had a great birthday.
She came back and spent it with the peasants in New York in time.
I did.
Welcome back.
I'm not psyched to be back, honestly.
Yeah.
You
told me to keep an eye on you because I could sense that you were having a really good time in LA, which I was happy that you were, but you know, and then you specifically warned me not to let you move to LA, and I said, well, you're going to need to give me some reasons that I can hold over your head.
Did I give you any?
Yes.
I truly don't remember this conversation. I must have blacked out.
It was when you were leaving my hotel room, walking down the hallway.
I was like, just don't let me.
Yeah. And I said, I'm going to need a reason, though, because I don't know. Like, tell me what you're thinking right now.
And did I give you reasons? What were the reasons?
You gave me one reason, and it was stand-up. Because we know it doesn't really exist as an art form in Los Angeles.
Truly, it's... I mean, it's... Okay. Well, give me a second on that, because I've been making arguments in my head for the contrary, but... LA was so nice though. I was like hiking. Dude, when I saw you in the hotel lobby and I found myself bounding towards you, I skipped.
Yeah.
I was skipping.
That was fun. I'm actually going to always make sure I have friends waiting for me in hotel lobbies because it was much more pleasant than a concierge.
I was like, I got there and I was just my cranky New York self. And then a week later, I see Corinne in a hotel lobby. And as I was skipping towards her, I was like, oh, I'm happy. Like I just had this like moment of like, I don't skip. What's happening? I must be really happy. And I was still like sad about my breakup and everything.
Yeah.
And then like 2 weeks in, I was just like, fuck that guy. And I just truly started having the best fucking time. Like, you know when somebody crosses a line for you and you're just like, okay, well, you're dead to me.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I just fully like cut it off. Like I was like, you just reach a point with somebody where you're like, I can't succeed at whatever it is I'm trying to.
It's almost helpful when they cross that line because then it's a clearer.
Oh my God, yeah.
It makes the decision clearer in your head if you were kind of like on the edge.
Yeah, and I was like fully not really knowing, or like it hadn't sunk in that we were like done. But like 2 weeks into that trip to LA, I was like, yeah, we're fucking done. We're done, dude. Dishes are done.
Rosebud is also wearing hoop earrings now, which made what she just did with her head so much more enjoyable.
And I just had the best fucking time. So, oh my God, I had a meeting while I was there. I had a meeting with Howie Mandel. I don't know if I could say this on the
Sure,
podcast.
I think it's okay, unless they told you not to.
They
I
didn't
don't know
say not to.
I don't know exactly what it was about.
But it was Howie Mandel and a few other people were in the meeting.
Was
and
Howie Mandel just lonely, or
No,
what did he
no,
call you in?
no. I truly, we were just like chatting because
Okay.
he was one of the executive producers of Inside Jokes.
Oh, okay, because that makes so much more sense. Okay,
Yeah.
because I was a little unclear. I'm like, what is happening?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was like asking me what I was working on, and I told him about the podcast, and another person in the room went, "Wait, that's you?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's me and Corinne Fisher. We have this podcast, Two Less Lonely Girls." And the guy goes, "I'm friends with Scooter, and he's really annoyed about that."
Oh,
And I just went, "Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's us. That's us. We're doing that."
this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
And then the guy goes, "No, I love it." He goes, "You guys stalk him, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "That's fucking great."
yeah, but with love.
Yeah.
It's like when you're Justin Bieber, you're gonna have stalkers anyway. So it's like, do you want people who love you stalking you, or do you want people who are out to get you stalking you?
Yeah.
Make the decision.
Oh my God. It was, he was like, "It's really funny." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, we're psychotic. We both need help." But I mean,
This story, I mean, really made my day. Made my year.
It made that meeting for me. I was
Uh-huh.
like, I've never been caught in a meeting and told that someone who is so powerful as Scooter Braun is annoyed with me and been like proud. Like
Yeah.
I was proud.
Well, I had an inkling because he is so on top of his clients and anything like that is being talked about in regards to them. And so I had an inkling that he might find
You have been
out.
saying for months, you're like, Scooter knows about us.
Yeah. Well, just because from the conversations I've had privately with fans, because we do have fans who will just, DM us or come up to us at shows and just like they want to give us information.
Yeah.
And so from combining all that, I've really come to understand a little bit better how powerful Scooter Braun is and kind of his methods. And I was like, there's no way he doesn't know about this.
Truly, if I could get people on this podcast to like help us more in terms of like journalism work, like if, because people will give us DMs and they'll be like, and I think this is like a kind of a fun way for the fans to, like actually be a part of this is like, this is so fucked up. I'm kind of encouraging people to stalk. But like,
You can stalk with class though. It doesn't need to be fucking, all
it doesn't need to be psychotic. I
Yeah.
just pulled like straw out of my teeth. But it's, if you guys are like ever have like a, oh, I know I saw Justin here or Justin's
hot
right
tip.
here in my, you know what I mean? And you can fucking send us photos or whatever. We could start like a website or a Tumblr or something where people can post like
in real
updates
time. Yeah.
in real time.
I mean, because that's what Perez Hilton was doing initially, which was so fun.
Right.
And it was like him, it was supposedly like him, his mom, and his sister kind of just running the site initially. Obviously, now there's a huge staff because it's turned into something so much bigger.
Right.
But that's all it was. Because it was just like, the new Page 6. Because I think the original name of PerezHilton.com was Page 666, I believe.
Yeah.
Then he got sued, and then he's changed his name to Perez Hilton, which I
Yeah.
think is so cute anyway.
I mean, let's say as a starting point, we have people DM us like, if you guys have a tip and you are nearby and we're not, just fucking go do it. You know what I mean? If you got the time,
Go look for
for him. Send us photos.
We can also hashtag TLLG tips.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. TLLG tips.
Yeah, and it's great because it's like no one else
And
can
it
figure
sounds
it
like
out.
a 1980s like phone.
Yeah.
Like a fucking
Just called TLLG tips.
Yeah.
That's TIPS. The S is for sex.
Oh my God. Never in my life will I ever do that voice. Like
Thank
I can't
you.
do that voice. It's a skill that you have.
You could do
That,
it.
no, they should put it on your fucking tombstone. They should be able to press a button and hear you say that.
Rosebud just pretends that she's not sexy, but I saw some tits in LA.
I was honestly,
I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like LA gets to see Rosebud's body, but New York doesn't. I felt a little hurt.
obviously because it's 5 degrees here.
Runyon
but,
Canyon gets to see the under boob.
dude, my tits were all over Runyon Canyon.
Oh my God.
I was going on the sluttiest hikes.
Yeah. You like had band t-shirts off that didn't need to be cut and you're like just cutting them
Yeah.
across. I
Yeah.
was like, what is this bitch doing?
I was just like, these are going full crop for no reason.
See, it's funny because you can be happy in New York though. I mean, I don't know if you personally can be happy, but people in general can be happy in New York because I'm happy in New York.
Yeah.
Like there's different apartments for me with different vibes. living in this apartment, I've pretty much been happy in this apartment.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, it's
definitely
been a
happy
rough
now.
couple months for me in New York.
Yeah.
I think I need to either get my own place or I need to like, but it's hard because I'm like sublet. I want to sublet and I want to go. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
that is for my journal. We have to talk about Justin because there's so much shit going on.
Well,
We have
also
so much
on the
shit-
episode that we're not airing, and don't worry, you're not missing anything. It was really just me and Rosebud catching up in a
Yeah.
hotel room. So we're like, this doesn't need to go.
we don't need to release
But I
this.
think I don't know if we talked about it on the Blair episode because we got a hot tip where Justin, number one, that Justin is recording.
Yeah.
He's been recording because I
Yes.
think that was on the one that's on airing and where he's recording. And we didn't get a chance to go because it is a studio in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But someone who works there tipped us off that he's been going in at night and recording like for a long period of time, which to us only says album.
That was a few weeks ago, right?
That
We got that tip.
Yeah,
It was
over a month ago,
Yeah, over
yeah.
a month ago. Okay, and since then, and it's weird that he would be all night long, right? It's kind of bizarre.
I mean, maybe if he wants to keep it secret, that's why he was going at night.
That's true. That could be one reason.
And I don't know, like for me, like I just think I create better at night. So if I had
Me
the
too.
option to, I would love to, like I
Yeah.
would love to have like my, a TV show written at night.
Yeah.
Like that would be better for me.
honestly, that would be so fantastic. But ever since then, everything is kind of like he was living with
Carl Lentz.
He went to go live with Carl Lentz for a little while.
So that was for
like
after,
a month.
Yeah, because that was after we got the tip. So he had been recording in Los Angeles. He was spotted in Los Angeles a bunch. Then all this stuff surfaced about trials and tribulations in his marriage.
Right.
Then he and Haley was there too, living with Carl Lentz,
Yes.
right? Because I saw her in a
Yeah.
bunch of his Instagram posts with
Yeah.
Laura too.
Right.
Laura seems to be very close with Haley.
Yeah, they were doing like couples counseling and just like a very intensive couples counseling. And then
It seems to me, I just want to it seems to me that I don't want to say that they're taking marriage too seriously, but like they're making it seem like the dynamic between a couple from, dating to marriage has to be so drastically different. And I think they're putting too much pressure on themselves because
here's the thing though.
doesn't.
I think that marriage does drastically change the dynamic because when you get married and there's that much money on the line and you don't have a fucking prenup.
Well, that was dumb.
And you're 25 and 22.
Yeah, that was idiotic.
They're
Yeah.
babies.
Right.
When you do that, you're saying essentially, no matter what happens, even if I don't love you anymore, I'm going to stay with you. And that is a fucking death sentence. That takes all of the spontaneity out of monogamy, where you're like, this person could leave because they don't belong to me, which is part of why I both really want to get married and part of why I have a lot of weird fucking issues around it. And and I don't know if it's like coming from me or if it's coming from like what I've been taught. It's so strange to
But that's
me.
a lot of pressure that they're putting on themselves, and I feel like their parents aren't helping
But that's
either
not pressure
because
they're
they're
putting
so
on themselves.
religious.
It's pressure that their fucking bank is putting on them.
Yeah, well, okay, the prenup was completely stupid, but also just like the being with someone forever. Like when you think about it in that way, you can think about it in like, oh my God, we have so much room to grow together and so many things to do and so much time to take each day really slowly and enjoy each other's company. Or you can think about it with dread, like this is it, this is the end. It's just a mindset.
I wonder if they're on some like subconscious level, they didn't have faith that they would be able to stick it out together just on their own with a prenup. And so I wonder if on a subconscious level they got the prenup just to say, okay, no matter what, we're stuck. You know what I mean? To like put that pressure on themselves.
The prenup?
Yeah.
But
or-
they have no prenup.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder
Okay.
if they didn't get a prenup, that
Oh,
they
okay.
didn't get a prenup
Yeah.
to put pressure on themselves because they didn't have faith that they could stay together without one.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it's like you're not losing anything. But the thing is, it's like
I could have said that better.
it's only a risk
but-
for Justin, though.
I mean, it's also a risk, I think, for Haley on a PR level. You know what I mean?
Sure, on a
It's-
PR level.
You have like you have that. And
no
then,
matter what, she's coming out ahead though, because she still has gotten much more PR, and even if it doesn't continue,
nobody knew who she was before. I mean,
yeah,
you know, people did, but like not really.
Exactly.
And I'm sure there are some like diehard Haley fans out there that are probably like stomping
very
their
angry
feet at
right
this,
now.
but
Yeah,
you know, for the most part, you guys were on your own. And and now everybody knows who she is. She's Haley Bieber.
Oh my God.
So it's like a whole thing for her. You know, where does she go from there?
Right, and because of that, she will start making more money as well. I mean, right out of the gates, the Adidas thing. I'm sure she would not have gotten that if she was not dating Justin.
It's a hard sell for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because she's
Like,
very
she
beautiful
didn't
and
have
just
the name.
yeah, and just as a model, gorgeous. Would love to see her in lots of different things. But if you know, so often now companies are going with models who also have some kind of a presence because it is so easy with the Instagrams,
right?
With the Instagrams,
And
there's
she
only one.
I mean, I have seen her in so much shit since she married him.
I think also we're more hypersensitive to seeing her. We could have been seeing her before.
True. That's
you know,
true.
it's like when something happens in your life where you're excited about something, and then it seems like you turn on the television, you turn on the radio, and
And then
everything
it's
is about
everywhere.
that.
Yeah, you're like attracting it. Yeah. Totally.
Alfred's digging. Are you gonna get to Haley?
Yeah, he's digging a hole
To Los Angeles
for their marriage. And basically, so they were staying with Carl. They were doing all this like couples therapy, and now Justin is posting about how he's like really, really fucking struggling. Are you pulling up the post?
Well, I was going to Cara Lentz's Instagram because I knew there were some pictures of him and Justin together.
Okay.
But yeah,
in the I think it was last week, Justin posted that he is really going through like a hard time right now, and that he needs prayers from everybody.
I did notice that, yes.
And there was a picture of him praying next to Carl Lentz and Kanye West. He says, this was on March 10th. Just wanted to keep you guys updated a little bit. Hopefully what I'm going through will resonate with you guys. Been struggling a lot, just feeling super disconnected and weird. I always bounce back, so I'm not worried. Just wanted to reach out and ask you guys to pray for me. God is faithful and your prayers really work. Thanks. The most human season I've ever been in, facing my stuff head on. The most human season I've ever been in. I don't get it. I don't know what he's saying with that, I guess. But I thought this picture of them praying was literally Kanye and Scooter dragging him out of a bar. I had no idea that they were praying. I thought this was like a fucking throwback to the days when he was like all fucked up.
But why would Kanye and then Scooter's eyes also be closed?
I just thought they were looking at the ground because it's literally from,
in
you know
shame.
what I mean? Because they're the only ones who can like walk. So they were like watching the ground.
Got it.
I had no idea.
Also, interesting thing. Patrick Schwarzenegger, I guess, is friends with, who is Arnold's son, is friends with him because he commented like, "Love you." I'm always interested to see like which celebrities and celebrities' kids know each other and are friends.
Yeah,
I find that to be fascinating.
Can I also say that my initial feeling when I saw this post was, oh, he's getting sober. Like, I just thought, okay, he's going to Carl Lentz's house to like get sober.
It's like a detox, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he goes to Carl when he's like trying to get sober.
Yeah, I think he goes to Carl when he has exhausted every other resource, and and everyone else in his life is like tired with him, because Carl, no matter what people say about him, I think Carl really does have like that kind of that thing that only like people of God have, like the continuous patience.
Right.
You kind of only find that in religious people.
Yeah, and he's like, and then the next day he's posting another one with Rich Wilkerson, who I guess is another preacher from Hillsong. And then 3 days ago, I don't know why he hashtag TBT, but this is just a Drew ad. I'm like, TBT to what? A month ago? And then another like Drew House ad. And then what is this? Another Drew one. So it's like
the second one was just like he saw these skaters that he liked in what looks to be Los Angeles, and he's like, if someone can find out who these two skaters are, I will send the first right person I see meet and greets. So I guess he just really liked these skateboarders and maybe wanted them for like Drew ads or something.
Yeah.
Drew House of Drew.
Yeah. I don't know. Or maybe he was just like using that footage and wanted to like make sure that he
Tag
gave them
him.
some credit, which is sweet of him. I just feel like my feeling is that he's getting sober because recently there was an article that came out that said that Haley was nervous about how much he's sleeping. Right. And if you look up the symptoms of like meth withdrawal, the first thing is like sleeping a ton, followed by massive depression. So these are two things that he's saying because they're speaking like around the issue. You know, they're like, oh yeah, he's like sleeping a lot or he's got depression.
Right.
When he said that he had a Vicodin problem in the Vogue interview, I was like, Vicodin? I was like, you always seem like you're on fucking like uppers, dude.
Yeah.
You know, it never really seems like you're on Vicodin, but
Yeah,
maybe he was on both, you know, like maybe he was, I feel like he's speaking in half truths. He's giving like not the full story, but like part of it and only the parts of it that are palatable. You know, I don't know why Vicodin is more palatable than meth. Meth is clearly more fun to do, but
With people are just more comfortable with pills, even though,
because meth is like,
which is so crazy because when I think about the people, I know a lot of people who have done drugs and the ones who are fucking in coffins right now are the ones who are doing opioids.
Yeah.
Or, and more like pill based things.
Yeah. Well, trust me, it's happening across the board, but it's, I don't know, like, I just have this feeling that what is going on is actually that he is getting sober from meth. You look at his fucking face, his skin looks like it.
That's the number one thing for me. His skin is so bad and kind of out of nowhere. And it's a weird age to get bad skin.
Yeah.
So that to me, it just like his face reeks of drug addict. Yeah. To the point where it's really bad. And also like a lot of the fighting that him and Haley are going through could be, it's like
mood swings.
Yeah. And it's just like she always is in kind of a nurturing and it's like over nurturing for a time in his life when I don't think he would require that normally because he's not, doing these huge arenas where fans are attacking him. And, he's still so famous that people do come up to him on the street, but it's kind of like all his fans know that he kind of just walks around. So it's not like if you were in New York or in LA and saw him walking around, like it wouldn't even be that surprising because he does that. Yeah,
he does that everywhere. I think he is, that's my feeling. I'm just like, this guy's fucking getting sober and it doesn't look good. And it's not gonna be an easy fucking road either.
Well, that's what I hope. I mean, that would be so much better though, that it's like depression because of something good rather than he's just having a full blown meltdown, which is what a lot of the TMZs and stuff are trying to frame it as.
Right. I'm like, if you just explained that that's what's going on, everything would speak for itself.
But can you imagine Scooter Braun would have a fucking heart attack if his precious baby boy, it was like known that he was on meth, because meth just is not palatable to a regular everyday American.
But the other thing is like Scooter works for Justin.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So at a certain point, it's like Justin gets to be an adult, and it's like he's not the one who's really. Scooter's not the one who's like making all the calls anymore.
No, I mean Justin definitely goes rogue. We know that about him.
Yeah,
but I mean I don't know. I don't know that Justin would be dying for people to know he was on meth either.
No, I think he's probably got a lot of shame around it.
And also how do you like what? Is this kind of like he was on something else and then went to meth? You think? Did he just go straight to meth?
I know that there was a Vogue interview with him in early 2000s where he was saying, not early 2000s, but like a few years ago.
Okay.
I believe it was the last long form interview that he did, and he was dating Haley at the time, and he talked about how he was like addicted to Adderall. And
so like ADHD,
or that he was on
stimulants.
Adderall or whatever, and that he was trying to get off of it the next day, like because in the middle of the interview he was like, "Yeah, I'm going off of Adderall," and maybe he was lying then. Like drug addicts lie all the time. You got to understand. Like they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm on Adderall because that's a pill," and then people will think like I've heard fucking stories about people who were homeless on the train. And then they were like, when they run into people that they knew from when they actually owned a home, they would hold up their suitcase and be like, "I'm going to work." but they were living on the train. So like the way that drug addicts' minds work, it's just like, well, if I have a suitcase, people think I have a home. You know, like people think I have a job because I have a suitcase.
Yeah.
Like you're not thinking rationally, you're just trying to think in terms of like what people will accept. And you know that something's off about you, so you have to have some explanation, but you don't want to give them the whole truth because the whole truth is scarier.
It's too much, yeah.
For you know?
Whew.
So that's what I feel. I feel like there is, and this is all speculation, but it also just comes from, I think I have a pretty strong intuition about these things. And I'm like, this feels like a guy who's getting sober and his PR team or him or something's going on where he can't share about it right now, but that's my fucking call.
Okay.
That's what I think is going on.
Okay.
And like, look at Haley. Haley is like, there's pictures of them in the park.
She looks exhausted. She looks in over her head.
Yeah.
Truly.
Honestly.
I feel bad for her.
She looks like an ER nurse.
Yeah. I feel bad for her because again, like just from the tiny interaction I had with her, things I read about her, she seems like a pretty normal together person.
Well, even like rigidly together, like likes to keep it fucking tight.
Yeah, like exactly. Because she's 22, and like, listen, I know a lot of 22-year-olds. I do, but she is a very mature, in a positive way, 22.
Yeah,
in a way that I'm like, oh, you're like me. You like to make things that are fun, not fun. Like I appreciate that in someone. So
yeah,
she's always very tight, very tight ponytails.
That are fun, not fun.
Yeah, it's a skill.
Well, she knows how to organize, you know? And like, I think that because I've been doing work on myself in terms of around like codependency and like not trying to control others and trying not to step in where you're not needed or like offer advice when it's not necessary. Like I've been like going back to that recently. And what happens is you help in a problematic way. You just keep helping, and then you get resentful, and then you persecute the person. So it's like you get mad at them because your help isn't working, which in the end was actually an effort to control your life, not theirs. Like you're trying to control them to make your life easier. And then you start to get resentful because it's not working. And then you start to persecute them. And you start to go, well, you're an evil person. You're making my life hell. You're not doing what I think you should do. And it's like, that's the fucking cycle, you know? And then that person feels persecuted and they do the same shit all over again. And so it's like a combined effort. Like they're both a part of this.
Well, she's enabling. See, the way I was thinking of it was just more like simply like, as someone who loves to date addicts, it's like, oh, it's very sexy to date an addict in the beginning. And it's kind of like, ooh, bad boy using drugs. But then when you actually enter the relationship and kind of all the fun movie bad boy stuff goes away, you realize, oh, I'm literally just fucking here with someone
just stuck in a
who's
tornado,
dependent on substances, who can barely function. And exactly like you said, I am now playing the role of like girlfriend, nurse, mother sometimes, like,
right.
Like literally cleaning up after someone who is struggling to function.
Yeah,
like
and
that's
like,
what happens.
And by the way, when I say all this, like there's no judgment, right? Like we've both fucking done this shit.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I haven't. Well, I mean, I've been the Haley many times.
I've been the Haley. I've been the Justin. I've been both fucking sides.
I haven't been the Justin. I'm dying to be the Justin. That's my relief. I need to be the Justin.
Miserable, I promise.
Oh gosh. I need to be the mess.
But
yes.
like, it really is like, there's no judgment because it's like this happens all the time, all over the place in our relationships everywhere. And it's the more you talk about it, the more you're like, oh, this is literally happening in so many people's lives that I'm not fucking alone. You know, like there's nothing really wrong with me. There's just like somewhere along the line, I learned that to feel loved, to feel that I didn't feel loved, so I settled for feeling needed. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel like a lovable person, so I was just like, well, I'll just be needed by someone.
Interesting.
And that is not the same thing. But I think that is what's happening with them.
Right.
You know?
And also like young people, you still think people can change. And I mean, young people can change, But I don't know. I'm just kind of in a phase now where like when I meet a person, like if they're not pretty much, if I say, okay, there's something big here that I can't handle, then that's just not the person for me.
100%.
I'm not trying to change. I'm like, and you know, like anything that I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna accept, like whatever, as long as it's not, you know, life threatening,
right,
or dangerous or really traumatic or hurtful,
right. Because when you start dating somebody, you see like one of those red flags, you forget that like in 5 years, that's going to be the thing that you fucking hate about that person.
Yeah, you're like, yeah. I'm just like, okay, what do I see now? And like, can I accept all these things as is, even if they never get better? Is how that the level that they are at right now for me acceptable?
Right.
And I think it's much easier. Like, who wants to work at changing other people? I have to work on myself.
Yeah,
continuous maintenance.
Right. I mean, God, fucking continuous maintenance. Oh my God, I spent so much fucking time trying to fix myself. It's like crazy. Oh, reading Codependent no more again.
Again? Wow.
I am. I'm reading it again. And
I wish we could get those to Justin and Haley.
I would ship them 1 million copies right now.
Because that's what I worry. I also worry that because of all the religious materials that they're not getting the materials that are actually going to help them, because they're being fed garbage like, oh, like God's going to lead you. And like, stop. Well, you need actual help.
Here's the thing.
You can tag on God at the end.
It's like, yes, your higher self plays a role in getting you the help that you need, or God or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But like, you have to go inside of yourself. It's not like in that book. Like, you have to like get dirty with it.
Well, just because the problem with a lot of religious stuff for me is like, I am not religious and I don't believe in God. But I have no problem with people who use it as long as they're using it in like what I call like responsibly, i.e. not trying to push it on others and not using it as an excuse to do hateful things. Like, that's like, if you just want it, for me, it's like an Amazon add-on, you know, it's like, add this on, but you have to add it on. There still has to be other like functioning, logical things that you do. You can't just be like, Jesus, take the wheel. I'm not wearing my seatbelt because if I was meant to live, I was meant to live.
Yeah.
Because that's the mentality a lot of times. And I feel like sometimes Justin will go that far into religion that he'll take that perspective, and that's when I get worried, because you can't do that.
But it's so funny too, because we're like talking about like, you can't control another person. You just can't. You have to let them live their lives. And then we're both sitting here like, this is what Justin should do.
No, but this is like, I would never date Justin because there's too many things that I would want to fix.
Right. No, neither of us would. But we are also dedicating an entire podcast to
hypothetical.
Being like, here's what he's doing wrong.
Hopefully Scootsy will listen to this. Can we call you Scootsy?
Scoots.
Scoots.
I truly am like, I think it's kind of beautiful because like at the same time they are 22 and 25, and like, you know, we make fun of them because they're young and it's like, but when you're young, you make these mistakes, and it actually is kind of beautiful to watch someone in their 20s going through what, I mean, I went through in my 20s. I went through something, you know, similar, and I wasn't even that early in my 20s.
You married a pop star and became a famous model?
No, I mean, I went through the drug addict thing. Right. Not even close. But I was like in therapy. I was doing all that fucking, you know, and it's like nice to see them like just growing up in front of you. Like, he's still, as much as like he is older now, like he's still growing up in front of everyone.
Yeah, it's like he feels like he's been around so long, so he feels old, and then you're like, oh, he's just 25. That's still, he's so young.
Yeah, he's still a kid in a way.
Well, but the thing is, I just still don't understand. Like, I'm like, do they truly just get married to fuck? Because it's like, it would be so much more beautiful to watch and be like, you know, pop stars, they're just like us if they weren't married. That makes me nervous.
Well,
and especially because of how seriously with the religion, with the money, like not that, you know, getting married is always serious, and I think people forget that. And I definitely do not take it like lightly, but it's even more serious
when there's fucking money
and
on the line.
when you're that religious, and you feel like you're, you know, it just feels like more of a failure when you put that religious weight on a marriage as well.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I just he doesn't need any, like, neither of them need any more of that. They're already under too much pressure
financially,
not even financial, just like they're in their lives.
Yeah.
You have everyone watching you, everyone weighing in. Then
my
you have
God.
pastors. Then you have Scooter.
Then you have the bank.
Your mom.
Let's not forget
the
the bank.
I'm sure his agents aren't happy about that. You know.
Oh my God, dude.
It's just a lot.
Oh my God, his lawyer. Ugh.
Your
Jesus.
accountant. Does he have an assistant? I'm sure he does. That's one thing. Like, you know how usually, like, you know a really famous person's assistant from seeing them around?
I never see Justin with an assistant.
Me neither.
Where?
He has to have one, right?
I mean, I think he just has his bodyguards.
As a handler. I would see him having a handler.
Yeah.
He probably has a chip in his ankle or something.
Oh my God.
I mean, he needs one because he goes loose. He wanders.
He is a wanderer. Mm-hmm. He's sort of like when, you know, like if your grandma has Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like Justin has gotten
Justin's
lost
just
a lot.
wandering the streets.
I know. I did find
Walking
I was
into
going through
coffee
my
shops being like, I heard these were the best donuts. You know what I mean?
Oh, he would say something like that, and then he would think it was very funny.
He walks into a shoe store and remembers it as a coffee shop from 2 years ago.
Yep. Yep.
I don't. Sorry, I didn't mean to make fun of people with Alzheimer's just now. That was actually inexcusable. I
You're very LA now.
I really am.
It's just a joke. No one with Alzheimer's is listening. We're fine.
How do we know?
Because, I mean, even if they were, they're not going to remember it.
Fucked. What a beautiful. God, that was beautiful.
Thank you. It's our ending.
Honestly, it was just like
Perfect timing.
yeah. What's making you less lonely this week?
I have such an obnoxious answer, and I'm ashamed to even say it.
Go for it.
Running.
Oh my God.
Why is that yours?
No, I was gonna
Oh.
say like exercise.
God.
Like I was gonna say like going outside and doing exercise things.
I had to whisper it because I'm so ashamed of myself.
No, it feels fucking good.
Well, I go through phases in my life, you know, off and on since I was 16 with running, and I use my little app Active, and I got back into it because I
Yeah.
hit a weight loss plateau and I need to go a little bit further into it, and so I'm like, I know in my head I'm like, I know the answer is running. I try to avoid it at all costs, but I got back into it and I really like it. Like I've gone, like, I usually never go to the gym on Sundays, and I went, like, and I'm burning, and I mean I am doing crazy workouts where I get off the treadmill and my whole body was red to the point where I was like, do I have a rash, or did I just work
called
out?
Corinne and she picked up the phone on the treadmill and I was positive she was getting rammed through a wall.
That's how out of breath I was.
I was like, are you getting fucked right now?
I would Rosebud, I'm a whore, but I would not answer the phone while I was getting fucked.
Honestly, you're very committed to your work. I believe that you would.
I wouldn't answer the phone.
I 100% believe
for
that
your
you would.
sake and for a partner's sake.
I believe that you would.
Oh my
I think
goodness.
if you honestly, if it came down to it and you really had to pick up a call, and you wanted to be polite to both your partner and your work partner, you'd do it. I believe that.
Oh my God, that's really well. That's why I picked up the phone. I was committed to work on the treadmill because I knew we were recording very shortly, and I wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Yeah, the thing that's making me less lonely is like, yes, like health and fitness and like going out and doing like fitnessy shit. But I will say that just this week I've been trying to get back to like mental health shit and
Oh,
like
that's
spiritual
good.
health, and I'm like doing a lot of meditating, I'm doing a lot of prayer, I'm doing a lot of like the shit that I have to do when I'm in a bad place and I like really need to fucking get my shit together. I have got it. This stuff works for me. You know what I mean? It doesn't work for everybody, but like that's
how I
what
feel about religion. Whatever works for you.
yeah, I'm like, it really fucking works for me.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And I'll always like, you know, it's when I'm not doing it, I'm just like, oh, it's not going to work. It takes too long, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll like think about it and I'm like, and I was talking to another friend about this. It's like it's like spiritual laws, right? About like being in a place of gratitude and like, I don't know, just being thankful for what you have and having that like bring more of it into your life and like making choices that excite you and therefore creating more excitement in your life. All of that, it's like a spiritual law. So why the fuck why do I think it's not going to work on me? Like, I don't know. That was like something that was going through my mind because I was like, wow, this shit works.
What
Like,
do you
I
think
already
it's
know
like?
that
You're
it
like you're
works.
too like cold, or you're heart, or like what was the reason?
I just get lazy and I'm like, oh, it's not going to work. It's fucking witchcraft. I hate it. You know?
Okay.
But like, then I'll do it and I'm like, wow, I feel really fucking good. Mm-hmm. You know, like I'm better at setting boundaries. I'm better at like, somebody fucking flipped out at me this week about something and it wasn't something that I was really responsible for. Like I apologized for my part of it, but like the other side of it, I was like, I literally can't help you. You're spinning out of control right now. So I just let them be.
Yeah.
And it was, oh my God, it was amazing. I was
Feels
like,
nice.
oh yeah, I can do that. I don't have to take care of their fucking feelings.
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
Being thankful really does work because even when I'm feeling like lower, if I feel like I'm not like making any progress, I just will do this thing. I just stop and I go through my head and I think of like all the great things and like not just work stuff, like it's, you know, I like fun walks with Alfred or things like that and just go through that and like, oh no, like things are great and like this is a really nice like life that you've built for yourself. And it really does work.
Yeah.
So it's a good tip.
Yeah.
Even though we've gone totally LA.
Listen,
I'm not even
also
here.
about the Alzheimer's thing, that's not LA. I just feel bad for old people. Dude, their lives suck. Like,
but I don't
they
think
get
it's
forgotten.
true.
They do. They
It
get forgotten.
depends.
They're like put in homes. I this isn't like me being like I'm a sensitive comic.
Oh no, I was talking about the praying and the thing and the gratitude. I wasn't talking about
that is fully LA.
Yeah, I was like,
but
that's
I was
LA.
doing that before LA.
Yeah, no,
to
I
be
know.
fair.
You were LA before you went to LA.
Truly, everybody that is there is just like, I don't know why you don't live here because this place is you. Like, even though you hate all the bullshit about it, like it's 100% this city that is like catered to you.
Well, it's interesting because but then you would be like more similar to the people out here there instead of being so unique in New York, you know?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm spinning this any way I can.
I saw what you did there. It was pretty
Thank
tricky.
you.
It was pretty sneaky.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for listening to Two Less Lonely Girls. I think we had to stop doing YouTube videos when Rosie was in LA, and then I think we just decided that we don't really like being on video and we don't have as open conversations, which is true. We tried it, you know. We're thinking of more ways to do content for you. So if you have any ideas, like we're not against, you know, going out and making a specific video. Wait, what?
Soul Cycle?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's something that we're trying to, you know, stir up a New York Soul Cycle with Two Less Lonely Girls. So just anything that you would be interested in, that's not going to take like, you know, days and days for us to, like, we're not going to create a Justin Bieber convention. So like think lower and like a one day kind of thing or a video you'd like to see or an episode you'd like to hear.
I would love to do a dance party in the park to all Justin Bieber songs also. Like that would be a fucking amazing time.
Like what kinds of things do you want? And we know, yes, that we're sorry. This is the things in person are only for New York people because this is where we are right now. But you know, if we're in LA together again, we could do it there. And also we could totally IG live any events that we have. So you can do it in your bedroom. You know, wherever you are in the world.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you here. Because we had such a good time at our New York Comedy Festival show. It
was so fun.
Perez Hilton. And so we want to kind of do more events. Like the idea is like feel good. You're not thinking about fucking tampon taxes and who's running for president. You're just thinking about Bieber and the love that he gives and shares. And now we've fully created a cult.
Yep.
As I was saying it, I was like, I believe this is how you start a cult.
That's what you do.
Yeah. And we still have pins, right?
We do. We do still have pins, although I said on my website that they're not for sale anymore because I fucked up all the money.
We'll have to figure out a better way to get those out.
I did get them out though. I got all of them out.
You did.
Yeah.
We're proud of you, Rosebud.
Oh my God. Did you see the receipt?
Oh,
it was literally, I could measure my house with it.
Oh gosh.
Okay, you guys have been so amazing.
Yes.
Talk to you next week.
Yes, and then so hashtag TLLG tips with any tips, and you can use that on Instagram or Twitter, and you can follow me at Philanthropy Gal
and me at Rosebud Baker
and Mike Coscarelli at Mike Coscarelli.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.